All right. Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Secretary, it's good to see you. You were kind enough to come with the First Lady to Sauk Valley Community College, which serves the congressional district that I represent in the northern part of the state of Illinois. So thank you for that. I know you're on the road a lot and you have a lot of conversations. I had brought up to you at the time, we had a short discussion about teacher shortages, and that's what I'd like to talk with you about this morning. In the budget request, I was really, really happy to see that President Biden requested an increase in 400 teach grants awarded. So these students will receive $4,000 if they commit to teaching a high need subject in a high poverty school for 4 years. So really happy to see that. And we talked about this in your visit about teacher shortages continuing to be a major problem. I know this is affecting a lot of states all over our country. It is a big problem in the state of Illinois. And the Illinois State Board of Education says that Illinois school districts have about 4,100 unfilled positions right now. And that includes teachers, paraprofessionals, and other licensed staff. So Secretary Cardona, what I'd like to ask you is, what impact will the president's budget request have on teacher shortages, such as programs like the Teach Grant and through investments like the Teacher Quality Partnership Grant Program? I would love for you to address that if you could, please.
Thank you very much. Great to see you again. There's a $350 million in the budget to propose to support recruitment and retention efforts. Just yesterday, I was with the 50 State Teachers of the Year and the National Teacher of the Year, Kurt Russell, talking about the importance of the profession. And while it seems that the profession is under attack at times, and during the pandemic, there was a great support for teachers. Now it seems like teachers are being asked to do more and sometimes not given the respect that they deserve for what they've done during the pandemic. So it's a difficult time to recruit teachers. But in this budget, there's a clear commitment to making sure that we have enough teachers. And as mentioned with the question from Ms. Lawrence, we have to create grow your own programs in our districts. We have to create programs that get students thinking about becoming a teacher earlier on. I think of Tennessee's program where there's an apprenticeship available for students who want to become teachers. So the funding in the budget would allow us to create systems that help us ensure that we're not going to have teacher shortages. I made reference earlier to January when, because of quarantining, we didn't have enough teachers. We didn't have enough substitutes. That's unacceptable. Our students deserve better. This funding will allow us to create systems to make sure that we have pipeline programs for our teachers and programs that are embedded in our high schools that connect to our colleges to ensure that we have enough teachers moving forward, especially in those hard-to-fill areas like special education, bilingual education. We have to be proactive about this because it's unacceptable for students not to have highly qualified, prepared teachers in front of their classrooms.
And this plays into it, kind of part two of this in a sense, teacher salaries. Obviously, that's part of retaining teachers. It's part of attracting people to the profession. And as you know, it's the salaries are too low across the country in many, especially in low income districts. And in my home state of Illinois, we're working really hard to address this. But obviously, I think there's more that we can do even at the federal level to retain and to attract people to the profession. Last year, I introduced something that we call the Retaining Educators Take Added Investments Now Act. We always like to come up with these acronyms. It's called the Retain Act. And along with other professions, the legislation, the Retain Act, it provides fully refundable tax credits for teachers in Title I schools. So the credit starts at $5,800 and then ramps up to $11,600 over the years to help retain staff. So, Mr. Secretary, how could increased Title I funding help school districts increase teacher pay and promote retention? And then part two of that is, what investments do you think we could put into programs that fight teacher shortages for this fiscal year?
Thank you for that, and I appreciate the efforts that you're taking to help address this issue. Imagine the headlines if we didn't have the American Rescue Plan funds to help incentivize teachers staying in the profession. We would be talking about schools being closed much more. So thank you for the support of the American Rescue Plan. I was talking to a principal yesterday who was telling me that in her state, the starting salary for teachers is in the 20,000s. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. So we need to do more. Pay does matter. Working conditions matter, and teacher voice matters. And to answer your question about Title I gives us the opportunity to ensure that there are enough reading specialists, that professional development is available to help these teachers become highly skilled in addressing achievement disparities that exist, and ensure that teachers have a competitive salary in urban districts or high poverty districts compared to their suburban counterparts. That's what Title I does.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Secretary. My time is out, and I will yield back to our chairwoman.
Thank you.
Congressman Harder.
Thank you so much, Chair DeLauro.